up, boys? My bad. I was updating the invites. So I will get to the yeah. I'll just say the names until I see. All right, we got 2 viewers. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Let's give everyone to like I guess 10:10 to join. My bad. I was late. I was updating the invites because I completely forgot. Yeah. So I finished the main event invites, and I just now wrapped up the Team Wars invites. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pass downs for the main event. So a lot of people that thought they had invites really don't have invites because only 7 people had their invites. So let me see what we got here. Alright, I think I got everything set up. Just let me. I'm gonna open up Twitch real quick on my computer. I can see you guys' questions because it doesn't show me the questions on my phone. And then we can get started. Yeah, don't forget, like I said, are winning. Please, 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 please leave all your questions, comments, and concerns in the comment section. And I'll make sure to get to you. Alright, I see my face. And I see the question box. So, without further ado, let me start off by reading the names that earned their invite this past weekend. So, there is the total of the top 15 players got their invites because it's top 8 gets their invites, but 7 players had it. Those 7 players were Legends, which was in first, myself in 5th, Dylan Warren, who had 7th, Juan Brand 8th, 9th, Justin Rios, 11th, Butters, Ronaldo had his. So, the newest additions to the invite list are Marcel Russell, Jason Scott, Eden Salas, Ryan Severin, Dalen Mack got it passed down, Joey Palladino snuck in, Dejan snuck in, and the last and final invite went to D-Boy, who came in top cut with the hot cheerleader himself, Craig Mayer, snuck in for that 8th and final spot for the invites. I'm going to post this tomorrow morning because I have to make it look pretty and stuff. Or I just might post it tonight. I don't know yet. But the Team Wars event, the 2-round bye team champions, Team Full XPPG, won the entire Team Wars event. That team earned a 2-round bye. That team consisted of Robert Reedsy, Marquise McKenney, Nick Larson. Second place, Team Gamers. They earned themselves a 1-round bye. Travis Washburn, Devin Butterworth, and Abnell Robles. The third and fourth place teams all earned their invite. It was Dejan, Jason Scott, Jerry Bishop, Juan Brand, Justin Rios, and Joaquin P. So shout out to you guys. And let's close this out and see. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I feel like I let you guys down, right? This past PPG event, I feel like I let you guys down only because I really, with a burning passion, didn't want to combat a full-blown mecha. But in the back of my mind, I just thought that, hey, people just have to know there are certain cards you just put in mecha. But when I was at the tournament, that was not the case at all. So today, like the first actual segment, I'm gonna just start talking about mecha. And then we could rotate to the underdogs of the format because I feel like there's a lot of underdogs in the format which could just take over the current meta. And unfortunately, it's probably the first and only video I'll talk about it. It's a lot of red decks, guys. Like red, in my opinion, in this format could just has the opportunity to just take over, right? But first things first, let's talk about Mecha Frieza. Mecha Frieza. We should all come to the agreement for Mecha Frieza. Your unit should be Vegeta, Fury, something. Let me pull him up actually. Let me hold. I'm gonna open up Shinron's lair because we need to get this down, guys. Like I feel bad as well because I'm part of the admin group on the Frieza's Army page. So today I'm gonna do a special for you guys, and we're gonna break it down. At least in the beginning segment, we're gonna break down Mecha Frieza. I'm logging right now to Shenron's lair so I can pull up the yellow library. In my opinion, I faced two Mecha Frieza decks. Both players had good knowledge of the meta. They understood what you had to put in. They both had Vegeta Unisons, and those players were Juan Brand and Marquise McKinney. I think Marquise's build was it was very, very, very solid, very traditional, as in the sense is not boring, but what a Mecha Frieza deck should be playing. Like, it's the stuff that I knew I was gonna face against. Like, you had your Vegeta Unisons, like, it's obvious, right? As a meta player, this is the invitation to everyone to be up on the latest text. Going against Marquise, the cards that I thought I was gonna see are the cards that I saw. You see what I'm saying? Now, the spiciest and also best Mecha deck in the room that I personally played was Juan Brand. Even though I 2-0'd him, I feel like I 2-0'd him because he wasn't as familiar with the deck as he should have been. But I'll tell you this, Juan's list, if you guys have access to it, I highly suggest you check it out. Because he had this, I can't pronounce the kid. You guys are gonna laugh at me when I say it. I don't know if it's Aegis or Aegis, whatever it is. It's that keyword skill where you have a a blue-yellow card. You discard it, I believe, and you get to untap to it a Bojack. That was insane. Because the way you play, the way at least I combat Mecha, right? Okay, cool. He has one energy, fine. If I know I'm going for double strike and it's big enough, I'll split it into two attacks, right? Because point blank is the first attack, if he negates it with the Flying Nimbus, he's either going to have to pick up a life for that or tap the energy for that. If he taps the energy for that, we're in the clear. The thing with Juan's list, which is really, really unique, and I really liked it, he tapped the energy for it, right? So me thinking in my head, I just, ooh, he tapped out. Ooh, I got him. I'm about to go in now, that double strike king. So I do my plays and everything. I'm counting his like life. I'm like, okay, cool. He has 2 life. So no matter what I do right now, I could drop a double strike on my guy because no matter what, it's going to get Final Flash. But it doesn't matter because he has 2 life left. He's going to pick up the 1 life. So it doesn't matter if he Final Flashes or not. The biggest thing that matters is that he manually has to do it. But Juan from nowhere had a Bojack on in the playing area, in the battle area. Then the Bojack's ability, I believe it's a 30k. Let me pull it up for you guys to give you guys knowledge because this was the spiciest thing I saw all day. And then trust me, there's a lot of stuff that was there. I didn't really agree with it, but Juan, he threw me for a loop on here because I'm like, you know what? That's actually not half bad. It is a Bojack. Let me just see if I can put in Bojack if it could come up. Bojack 7-drop, and the issue with this bad boy is that it had barrier, so there was no way for me to just straight out it, which was insane. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Now I'm not gonna find it. There was a play he was doing. I can't find a card he was using, but there was a play he was doing essentially where he tapped out, and it seemed like it was safe, and he used the Aegis keyword skill, and from nowhere untapped 2 energy, which in my opinion was insane. Because the thing with Mecha Frieza, right? They free play their extra cards. So for them, energy is precious because life is low. So there's only so many times you can just, especially now since you really have to main deck the Vegeta's pure unison, life is very precious where now your energy becomes a resource. So you being able to sit there in a defensive step and just untap 2 to just have 2 free energy was completely insane. I forget. Sorry about this, boys. I can't find the card he was using, but man, I'll tell you what it was, bro. When I do have it, I'll post on the Facebook group. It was completely insane. It's probably on his deck list that I don't have anywhere here. But man, like I said, Juan's list, if you want to go find something spicy, I would look at Juan Brand's list. If you want to look at something that's very low to the ground and something that's very consistent, I would look at Marquise's list. Because the thing with Juan's list, he runs like yellow blue now. Because with that, you have to have a yellow blue card, right? So instead of pitching yellow and blue, you can just pitch a yellow-blue multicolor card. That's still one issue with Juan's list. But with that being said, at the same time, if you were to update that list, I'd give it to him. Like I told Juan, I said, Juan, if the event wasn't this past weekend and it was this next weekend, you probably would have went further than you went. Because you did all of this, but you were still misplaying. And I'm like, bro, your deck was just snap broken, bro. So props for my boy Juan. Juan's deck profile. When I don't have his deck profile, yeah, Vegeta. I don't have his deck profile. It's your boy JB. Unfortunately, I should have asked him for it, but they were all gone by the time I was done. But Juan Brand's deck profile should be up on a PPG, one of the PPG sites itself. Let me start catching up on some comments. Hey Eddie, I want your no bull, no sugarcoating take on King Piccolo. Oh my God, Kevbot, great question. That's one of my underdogs. I was gonna say, like, there's a bunch of decks that will take this meta by storm, especially if it stays consistent, right? Because you remember I told you guys before the meta even started, before PBG even happened, we were the first people to tell you it's Red Broly, Dark Broly, and Mecha. A lot of people started saying some BS and shenanigans. You have Sync, you have this. I said, no, guys. Like I said, I do my best to keep things simple and to keep things real with you guys. Some people don't like it because I just tell the truth. Some people appreciate I tell the truth. One thing I will tell you is that you'll appreciate everything I say because it is the truth. It may not be something you like, but I do tell you the truth. I'll do my best to say it the nicest way, but once again, I have to just be fair with you and tell you exactly how we feel. I think the Red Piccolo, this is going to be later in the video, is going to be a dominant deck. Even though it has starts off with 6 life, it's going to be a dominant deck. Because when I did playtest, this is just future insight what I'm going to get into. When I did playtest going against that deck, the reason why I was just destroying it is because it was prior to the ban list, right? And prior to the ban list, I still had my 4 trunks. So I was just slaughtering that deck. I'm like, bet fam, you start at 6? I'm sorry for you. Like, you're just going to get slaughtered. Point blank, period. But hindsight, I never went back and looked at the deck post the ban list because I was already on the Dark Broly train. So moving forward, I might have to revisit the Red Piccolo because I think there's a lot of potential there, especially with another card I'm gonna get into later in this deck. Not in this deck, but like in this video, Dark Power Mad Saiyan. Guys, Dark Power Mad Saiyan is going to get a lot of people in trouble. The reason why I say this is because yes, it shuts down majority of set 12 decks, if not all set 12 decks, but all of these decks have natural answers to it. Mainly red. It's just not, don't do it. You will get yourself slaughtered because you're going to tap on energies and disappear. Launch has a built-in removal for Black Mad Saiyan. Red Broly has a built-in removal for Black Mad Saiyan via the Unison. Red itself in general, if you're running red and one of the 2 Piccolos are not your Unisons, there's an issue there. Because as long as one of those 2 are your Unisons, you are safe from each and every Dark Power Mad Saiyan because you'll be at 2 or more, you'll not have your Yamcha free counterplays, and you also have a Wolfang Fist that will be live. So it's going to be damn near impossible for your opponent to have a Dark Power Mad Saiyan on board and for it to actually stick. So with that being said, guess what's coming out of my sideboard? Unfortunately, it is Dark Power Mad Saiyan, which it sucks because that's not something you would think about, right? But like I said, you want to go improvise, adapt, and overcome. Once players understand, hey, okay, this is a threat against me, but I naturally mainboard things. But that's another thing I don't think red players pick. I don't think Dragon Ball players in general pick up to Dark Power Mad Saiyan is solid, but it's not barrier. It's not deflect. I'd rather play the Goku because at least the Goku's deflect. If I attack, it's simple to play around because it's literally, okay, cool. I attack you, I know I want you to pitch an extra card because I know for a fact that counterplay is coming. That deflect sticks. So if you're to dormant me, just know you're going to give me 3 cards. And then me being Dark Broly, I put the Ravager after it so I could just net an advantage because now you're just getting 4 cards. But playing Dark Power Mad Saiyan, just playing it, it's just neg right now because realistically, it doesn't have deflect. So it could be answered right then and there. And the thing is, Dark Power Mad Saiyan costs an energy. So you just lost an energy while your opponent just gained value. And when I say gain value, they either got value of the free Yamcha play or the free Frieza play that comes in and just pops something. And those are the things. Your best bet would be the best case scenario for you after your Dark Power Mad Saiyan gets answered is they either will Fang Fist it or they don't potentially. Because in that scenario, yes, you lost an energy, but at least you didn't lose an energy while giving him a battle card. So with that being said, I really, really, really unfortunately do not think Dark Power Mask Saiyan should be something in people's sideboards. The only deck I believe it should be ran in is maybe Mono Black decks if you need to awaken. And when I say Mono Black decks, I'm going to go back to them again. I'm going to revisit it. Everyone on my team knows I'm going to revisit this deck. It's going to be Vegeks. Because I honestly don't think that Mecha matchup is that hard. But in my head, the reason why I thought it was impossible to win, because I have the Mecha list in my head. I'm like, there's no way in hell if I were to play myself with my Mecha list versus my prime Vegeks list, the Vegeks 6 wins. But a lot of people are not on it. So I'm going to share the insight with you for Mecha. And let me catch up on some questions real quick, because I don't want to feel like everyone's getting left behind. Bojack Violent Rush. Is that what it's called? Let me see it. Bojack Violent Rush. Bojack. Is it a blue yellow or is it a blue red? Ooh, where is it? But he just gave me the answer. Violent Rush Bojack. Ooh, we're gonna get into this. Thank you. Goku Absolute Annihilation. Yes. Card Games TV. That is a great card, and I think it should be at main at least one in all your Mecha Frieza decks, because it's not just good in the mirror match. Is amazing. It's God tier in the mirror match, because essentially it does so much for you, and the fact that it's deflect barrier is just completely insane. Another card that does wonders in the mirror match, I'm trying to catch up to this while I'm answering your questions as well, is the Slug package itself. 26 gets the invite. Come to Miami. How do you feel about Dark Broly running Son Goku? The adventure begins. I don't like it at all. But I had a local guy who ran. The reason why I don't like, it's a great card. Son Goku, the adventure begins is a great card. The thing is, your main deck slot, it's tight. I like 50. Everyone who knows me knows I love 50. And I preach 50. 50 breeds consistency, right? Consistency breeds excellence. So you being able to maneuver around your deck, because that deck filters. That's one thing I love about the deck. You will see, even if it's a one-of, you will see the cards. You can run a Secret on Dark Broly, and you're guaranteed to see it as long as you know how to sequence your deck. And that's one thing I really, really appreciate about Dark Broly. So I don't really see Goku being in there. I understand you can recycle your balls with your Vegeta. Yes, that's cute. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be dominant than cute, because I can do the same thing with my free Dragon Balls, if that makes sense. Hope that answers your question. You're running too many balls. How do you feel about the Shroom and Salsa deck? Bomb, another one. But realistically, the ones I'm going to stay on, not Shroom and Salsa, it can do some things, because negates could get crazy, and then they have a literally ability that says, hey, if your opponent uses a counter, you get X, Y, and Z effect. But that's something I'm going to focus on in another video. Today, I'm just going to focus on the ones that I feel are right at the tail, like right under the triangle. This is the triangle, right? Red Broly, Dark Broly, and Mecha. They're literally right under the triangle, but it's not as far down as we thought. It's literally right there touching the triangle itself. So we're going to get into that. And the last question, talk about how you have been able to build and get so many top players on one team. Oh, that's, and it's funny you say that. Today was supposed to be a leadership video, but then I'm like, you know what? Let me talk to my Mecha Frieza a bit. It's all about leadership. It's how you carry yourself, right? Leaders supposed to strive to build leaders, not more followers. Yes, you see all these memes and stuff. Hey, I'm a leader. I'm this. I'm that. But then if you ask the players itself or those quote-unquote subordinates, they'll tell you it sucks. Like, yeah, he's just there. He controls whatever it is. But a real leader strives to make his subordinates leaders. Because in real life, what you want to do is, hey, if you're able to make this guy a leader, if you're able to make this guy a leader, and you bring them above your team, what they do is they'll push you up out the way and take your spot, and you take someone else's spot. So as long as you have a good leadership mentality, it's easy to bring out the excellence in people, right? For instance, I'll tell you right now, the whole event, you could ask him himself, Legends was not going to win that event. Not because he didn't have the skill or the talent to do it, because he wanted to split. And I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, listen to me. You're not going to split. This is where the leadership card comes in. You have to learn how to understand your players. Because a lot of players, they like to, I don't know, not to be the bad guy or something, but yes, splitting would have been nice. We could all go home and go eat lunch and do all that good stuff. But guess what? Greatness doesn't die. Greatness lasts forever, right? My Legends, today is your day. Point blank period. It just is unfortunate he ended up playing me, but I told him in Swiss, I said, Legends, literally, we're gonna both get in the top cut, and it's gonna be you and I in the finals once again. It is unfortunate you played in top 8. But I told him after top 8, I reinforced in his head, I'm like, you better not split. 100% you better not split. Because you have the easiest path to a W. You have Mecha Frieza, which you have tooled all day. You literally tooled Mecha Frieza all day, and you had the unknown at that time. I thought it was going to be another Mecha Frieza, but Marcel ended up winning out his bracket, which it came to find out that that matchup was simple for him because he understood the game and had the knowledge to combat that matchup, right? But once again, this is where it comes down to leadership. Because if you ask anybody, any other team, hey, let's just split this and do that, I guarantee the tournament would have been over. And then unfortunately, it would end up in a tie because everyone wanted to split and go home and go. I'm like, listen, bro, you have to do this. We play tested. The stuff you say in the team chat, it matters because you have the knowledge to do it. So now you have to equip yourself to just go put yourself in the mindset to do it. Bring it on to the next day. Another leadership example was I was talking to my boy, shout outs to him, Nick Larson. You could tell Nick was kind of nervous talking to people. He wanted to keep them happy. And I had to literally sit there and zone up, sit him down, say, Nick, listen, you're going to take my spot. The reason why you're going to take my spot is because last night I had no sleep. I was holding my daughter the whole night, and I need someone to just step in for me. What deck do you feel comfortable with? Now, he was put in a position where, hey, one person wanted to play Dark Broly, one person wanted to take my Dark Broly list, and the other person wanted him to play Blue Baby. And I'm sitting here like, what do you feel comfortable with? Of course, he wants to keep both players happy, so he'll say, I feel comfortable with whatever. But realistically, you have to understand the mindset of someone. You have to hear what they're saying, and then you have to see what they're saying. I heard what Nick was saying, but I was trying to see like what he was actually telling me. And Nick's body language wasn't telling me he could play both decks. Yes, realistically, he could pick up both decks and play it, but his body language wasn't telling me, hey, I can, whatever deck you throw at me, I'm just going to dominate with it. So I literally had to redirect the question to him. I said, Nick, don't BS me. I'm not going to sit on camera, but you guys, I was very direct. I said, Nick, listen, F those two other guys, you're looking at me now. Literally look me in my eyes and tell me, what are you going to win the event with today? And that's when it literally came out, bomb, Blue Baby. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know if he felt nervous saying Blue Baby because maybe some players weren't too sure about it. But then you have to, that's when you have to connect. As a leader, you have to connect with your peers. You have to say, listen to me, bro. Forget what everyone's saying. I trust you. If I put you in this position, it's because I trust you. Now look me, bro. What do you feel more comfortable with? I bought that out of him, and he played it, and he dominated with it. And now he has a 2-round bye, and they got a W with it. So it's stuff like that where Andrew says, how do you like bring all these good players together on one team? It's not a coincidence that they join us and like their prime starts kicking in. Like you see, yes, the names come in and they come out, but names who come in, they start working, you'll see they're consistently at the top. You have to learn how to push it. It's more than just play testing and stuff. You have to actually be involved, you know what I'm saying? Get your team trying to get the chemistry there. Because the game is not just play. If you can play test for the rest of your life and be subpar at this game, never win, never top. That's just facts. The thing is, once you bring it past the play testing level, it brings the gaming experience to a whole nother experience and a whole other level itself. For instance, there's a clip going on. You can see, I think it was like the final 30 seconds. I think it was Kiki. Kiki made the clip of when Legends won. You hear me singing Burn Baby Burn. I got emotional at Legends won because I knew, I felt it for him. This guy's been playing the deck, and I sit there and I had each and every single round in top cut. I had to literally carry him like, Legends, listen. Don't listen to these guys. I understand you have to be somewhere. But listen, the moment you're to be in is right now. You get to live in this moment because this is your moment. It's something you have to just preach and help players understand. It's like the Eminem song. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. So I can guarantee it to you. He could have went about his business and went to X, Y, and Z or split with X, Y, and Z. But as a leader, you bring it together. You help them focus. That's the biggest thing. You have to bring a leadership mentality to your organization, and it'll always be successful. No matter if you have the best players or not, leadership will turn into greatness. That's it. That's my rant on that. Next question is, Do you think New Lord Slug Leader puts a fight against Mecha? Lord Slug, I will tell you, it's not to be slept on because one of our players, I'm not going to name his name, so I don't know if he wants to be named, really put some serious thought into that deck. He ended up not taking it, but it's nothing to be. None of these set 12 decks, honestly, are just pushover decks per se. The only thing that really hurt them was Dark Power Mass Saiyan. But looking, actually really deep diving into this meta, Dark Power Mass Saiyan is not as powerful as you think. Versus certain colors, yes it is, like mainly black. Like if you're playing Vegeks, yeah, it's an issue, but you have answers. If you're playing like, not just Vegeks, like black cards like the Shroom and Sosa, I don't believe they have easy board removal like that. But Jax does, Dark Broly does. To my knowledge, I like I said, I played against Shroom and Sosa, but I never played the actual Shroom and Sosa deck. I know they rotate cards, but I never seen them just have board removal. I know they have the promo that literally lights you up once you start having enough in your warp. I know the leader warps in your drop, but a deck like that would have issues because once you bring out your free 15k, you have an issue because now the advantage you're gaining, you have to pitch and actually pay taxes for it. So next one was, where can I see the deck profile? You can see all these deck profiles on the Team Field on the Team Field YouTube channel. But let's get back. I got sidetracked. Let's go back to Frieza. Frieza, the unison you should be running 100%. And listen to me, guys. I tell these things because it's something I 100% believe. You can always feel free to adjust this and run it to your ratios. But when I say something, you can't take the name of the card, but don't listen to some other cards, right? For instance, we have a player who messaged me saying he likes both my list and the MRG's guys is for Dark Broly. He's just going to combine it together. And I told him straight out, I said, don't do it. The reason why you're not able to do things like that is because my list and someone else's is completely different. I don't run negates. I run certain cards that act like negates. They'll mitigate those high attacks. So if you try to mix and combine lists, you can't do it. It's either you have to just try out my ratios first, and you can come back to me and tell me your issues because I can answer your issue right then and there. A lot of times, players use it and lose. They say this deck sucks. Feel like we are the most responsive people. Like if they don't respond, come to me. I'll answer your questions. Feel free to play test something and tell me where you're having a problem. Like, listen, I had the list exactly as you mentioned it. I'm having a problem with X, Y, and Z. I literally ask you, okay, are you doing X, Y, and Z? Hey, against Dark Broly, I'm struggling against Mecha. Okay, how are you struggling against Mecha? The Vegeta Unison is literally killing me. Okay, are you making sure that before the Vegeta Unison's out, you're putting up enough pressure to where the point where you can kill them because they're either at 3 or 2 life, and you're pretty much disabling the ability for them to use an X card for free? No, that's the issue number 1. It's stuff like that. But the first unison you should run is the Vegeta, 100% at 4. I'm going to tell you why I believe it should be at 4. Number 1, you want to see it because it shuts down this meta. If you look at the triangle meta, right? You have Dark Broly, you have Red Broly, and you have the Mecha. So Dark Broly completely shuts down. Red Broly, it starts shutting down really quick. You don't need it because you have answers to it, but if you don't draw your answers mainboarded, you really start to shut it down. And the mirror match, I'm going to tell you where it's really key. Yes, I can see the argument made that there are other unisons that are better specifically in the mirror match, but the thing about the Vegeta unison, and this is very underrated, I don't think players understand how valuable Mecha Frieza's energy is to the card. That's why I bought a Juan Brand's tech. Energy is game. Energy for Mecha, I cannot preach this, is game. Because once they do not have energy, they have to take life. Them taking life makes it easier for their opponent to win the game. So their energy, once again, is valuable. I cannot express this. The Vegeta Unison, when you're running at 4, and let's running at 4, for 2 energy, you can produce the ultimate. Because for 2 energy, you can just play the Vegeta, you can activate the main, because activating the main is not a plus or minus. So you can activate the main. Vegeta takes 3 markers for you to sit there and get its ulti off. You play the Vegeta for 2, you activate the main. Don't do it on your leader because you want to draw, obviously, but do it on the battle card you had on board that you didn't plan on attacking, because maybe, hey, you're going to run into Violent Rays. Maybe, hey, you're going to run into a Nimbus. Something like that. Do it on that battle card. you attack with you use that to the Vegeta, so now it's a +3. Now one of the extra Vegetas in your hand, you put it under it because you're running 4. And this is why I tell you my ratios really matter. Because if you try to do this when you're running 3, you're gonna regret it, right? The reason why you're gonna regret it is because you're only running 3. So if your ultimate doesn't go off and you really need the Vegeta Unison to stop your opponent, you no longer have them because you're only running 3 and you just use 2 of them. So you played 1 copy for 2. You activate main, he's at 3. You put one of your 4 copies under it, he's at 4, and you just neg 3. It's that simple. The biggest thing on the neg 3 in a mirror match itself is that you get to tap an energy. And that is huge because Mecha Frieza is not playing blue-yellow. It's playing mono-blue. So once they're tapped out, they usually probably 1 or 2 open, that's it. But the first, they usually the 1 open for Nimbus 100%. Because they know if anything goes wrong, they can just final flash it from life and they'll be fine. So you being able to tap, maybe if they have just the 1 energy, usually Frieza gonna be game, especially against the Unison attack. Because do not forget, guys, you can only use the final flash. Okay, I thought I lied out. You can only use the Vegeta's final flash on a battle card. That's it. You cannot use it on the leader. You cannot use it on the Unison. So Vegeta will get it in. Just make sure you do it correctly. The number you want to give, because the Vegeta will be 20k, double strike, dual attack. The base number you want to give it is 25. Realistically, you want to put it at 30 because if you tap your last energy, they're going to stop your attack off 1 card. Now 1 card is going to be the final flash. So realistically, you want to put it at 30 because if you put it at 30, now they have to either give you a final flash, take the life, plus 1 card from their hand, or they're going to have to give you 2 super combos. In any scenario you look at that, you win because you're taking cards from their hand. If you leave it at 20, do not ever leave it at 20. Don't ever leave it at 20. Let me preach it again. Do not ever leave it at 20 because there was a monster super combo and either top your lead or do something else wild to you, and it's not going to matter because they only lost 1 card. They got advantage of it. But if it's at least at 25, they would have to super combo you. On top of that, give you a 5k. At least minimum 25. The next card you want to run in Frieza, obviously, it's the second most important card in my opinion, is the United Symbols. The United Symbols, I'm going to tell you what should be right behind the United Symbol. It should be I want to know the exact name, so I'm pulling it up for you guys. That's why I'm looking down at my computer and the phone in front of me. It should be the Chapel, the Iron Drake. You should run it at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget, guys. 4. I cannot preach it. 4. The only deck that will literally doesn't care about it is Dark Broly. Because Dark Broly, and this time that they don't care, you're forcing them to have a ball and you're forcing them to have a 1-drop Broly. Turn 1, if they do not have it, you start taking plays from them. In a mirror match, this is crucial because once their Vegeta attacks, you start to tap them, which is really crucial because now they have to use an extra card prior to that. And even in the mirror match, if they're tapped, now your U9 is still alive. So you can use another U9. You see how the things just keep coming down and down from there? Like you have to run it at 4. I can't explain it. Because at absolute worst case scenario, you listen to this, guys, you either play it for 2 energy because you're saying, hey, this really hurts you, or you're using it for a 5k combo. Those are the 2 worst things, guys. Literally. That's it. Tapping 2 because it really hurts your opponent, or you're comboing away for a 0-5k. There's no downside to the card. So mono yellow, you need it for energy, that's fine. I wouldn't suggest you using it for energy. I would suggest you using it for a 0-5k combo. Once again, that's why it's at 4. But 4 is a number, not 3. 4. A lot of players, yes, you may have got a top with it at 3. You may have found success with it at 3. But if you want real consistency, in my opinion, it should be at 4. The next card you should run in that package are the 1-drop Basil, Fatal Rampage. In my opinion, this is 3 to 4. This is up to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Depends on space right now. But at minimum, it should be 3. There should not be 2. Let me repeat that. There should not be 2. Because the games where this actually hits. There should not be 2. I cannot repeat that again. There should be at least 3. Maybe 4 is overkill. And you know I love 4. But at least 3 of this. At least 3. The only reason why some ratios are super wonky in this is because, once again, you're fighting that space factor. And that's it for that. Let me pause real quick. Let me see. I'm not falling back on any comments because I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm ignoring you. Andrew played Blue Baby. No, he did not. Andrew played Red Broly. Let's see. What do we have? Angry Big, I would guarantee I never already have an invite without being a part of T4. Oh, snap. Nah, bro, like, as long as you, like, he'll tell you. I'm not gonna put his name out there. I know if he wants to be revealed, but he's part of our initiative players, right? And he puts stuff up, and I literally tell him the blunt, honest truth. He posted a deck list the other day. He said, Eddie, what do you think about this? I said, bro, I'm not trying to be mean, but why are you still showing me a deck list with the main deck, the Migros, and Dark Broly? I told him that straight up, and I explained it to him. And that's not me trying to be mean. That's me, like, proving points. Dark Broly's a great card, don't get it wrong. Cards like that, cards like Heartfelt Plea, a bunch of cards are great cards. But once again, you got to evaluate the meta. They do not belong in the main deck, in my opinion. I don't like running dead cards in my main board. The most dead card in my main board, and I'm talking about the least likely to be dead, is probably a Mecha Cabrera, honestly. Because everything else I could just use, like freely use without having any worries about it. But Mecha Cabrera, sometimes they're playing something like Mecha Frieza, it's dead. Because I'm not going to call, the best case scenario you could predict is a Bergamo 5-drop coming out. But it's really hard to do that because your opponent has other plays. But you can see when they're trying to set up that Bergamo 5-drop. Like, it's obvious when they're trying to do it. But that's not a deck you just want to sit there and put Mecha Caberas in. For those instances, I'll take 4 Mecha Caberas out and put in my 4 Son Goku True Fighting Spirit. Because no matter what, I know the first attack is going to be a Nimbus. So, if I use that in multiples, in succession, when you have one, just play one. Because if you just play one, this is where knowledge comes into the game, right? If you just play one and they Nimbus you, yes, they give you 3 cards, but don't forget, you're going to rest your 1. So, if you play 2, 3, 4 at a time, they get to rest your 1. Okay, sure, they'll clear 1 on their next turn, but they still have to deal with your other 2, your other 3, like that. What do we have? Let's see. To the card, if you have a Unison in play and it's a 2-drop, on my next turn, I play another Unison. Blah, blah, blah. Which card are we referring to? Maybe I have to reread this. It says to the card, if you have a Unison in play and it's a 2-drop Unison, on my next turn, I could possibly play. I'm not sure which Unison you're talking about. But if we're still referring to Mecha, it should always be Vegeta. And Vegeta is not something you would want to get rid of. The only time you would use Vegeta's ult if you know for a fact you have game coming and your opponent made the era of having either 1 or 2 energy open. Because best case scenario, they have 1 energy open, and it's like, okay, cool. I mean, they have 2 energy open, and it's like, okay, cool. Now you just gotta hope they don't have a Nimbus. But if they only had that 1 energy open and you tap them out, no matter what, you can look at their life and say they're a -1 on life. Do not attack with your Vegeta Unison first. I cannot repeat that. If this is the mirror match and they have 1 energy open and you tap that 1 energy with Vegeta's Unison, do not attack with your Unison first. Attack with a battle card because the Nimbus guarantees are going to take 1, and no matter what they do, they cannot interact with your Vegeta Unison. And this is another reason why I say it should be in your main board and it should be at 4. The Zamasu Super Combo can and will top your leader if you keep going on, but nothing in this game could interact with the Vegeta Unison while it's on your turn. So do not, I can't repeat that. If you're using Vegeta Unison, your opponent made a mistake of having 1 energy open, and you tap that with your Vegeta Fury, do not attack with him first. Maybe if he's at 2, but you already had a game by then, but do not attack with him first because the Nimbus will literally come out. Now you're still gonna have, if you do this in this correct order, right, you will still have at least 2 attacks with your Vegeta, at least 2. Because Nimbus says you can attack one more time with a battle card. This is a Unison card, so at least 2 attacks with him. You'll have at least 1 attack with your leader. So be very, very vigilant on how you order things in this game. What would be the ups and downs of playing Apes and Mecha? I hear a lot of things when players say don't play Apes. That's so wrong. Apes are like, yes, they're a high energy cost. Once again, I would actually have to sit there and build the Mecha Frieza deck itself. Because a lot of decks, I know the basic cards for them. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure if Apes 100% belong in the deck. Now, when I say in the deck, that doesn't mean in the main board. Maybe apes belong in the sideboard. But once again, I haven't actually built the mecha deck itself. What I can tell you belongs in the main board is the Vegeta Unisons, is the Planet Vegeta, United Symbols, the 1-drop Wolf, the 2-drop Wolf. 100% all of those belong in the main board. The Nimbus, the Final Flash. I can just keep going on. I can tell you what belongs in the main board. And then once we get down to those crucial last nicks and bits of there, I can say, okay, cool. You see this right here? It's a great card, but it's long on the main board. Because certain matchups is completely dead. Like, against, let's say, Dark Broly, are you ever really going to top 2 to go against Dark Broly for an ape? No, it's neg. So in that aspect, I can see why players say, hey, this probably is bad. But it's not a bad card. It's just a bad situation. The same thing goes back to where I talk about Heartfelt Pleas. And the same thing goes back to where I talk about the Demigras. Those are, I'm not, by no way, shape, and form am I saying those cards are bad. Main board, they could lead to issues. And that's the thing I try to preach to players. But players take it the wrong way and just think I'm just blowing it off. I'm not saying, of course drawing 2 is great, all that good stuff. But why would you want to main that? Like a Heartfelt Plea, or why would you want to main it? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When you know Mecha Frieza is a deck, you will 100%. It's not like you will most likely see it. You will 100% run into a Mecha Frieza deck. And if the Mecha Frieza deck has a Vegeta's the Unison on board, you're already not attacking with it. Now to top it off, if they have the Slug on board, you can't even draw 2 with it. So okay, cool. You just Heartfelt Plea. They're not gonna crit a life, and you're not gonna draw 2 cards. Why would you just main deck that card? You see what I'm saying? That's neg. The Demigra, why would you main deck the Demigra in top 2, knowing in a mirror match you're gonna warp it, not even for an energy. You top 2 to get yourself warped for free. Stuff like that. Depending on what apes you mean, the draw 2 apes you 100% do not need. So I think his question was the Bardock apes. The draw 2 apes you 100% do not need in Mecha Frieza. You will just be fine with just the United Symbols, because the United Symbols get you cards. So I'm assuming you're referring to the Bardock ape. The double strike tap 1 draw card, that card, I can, like I said, I would actually have to sit there and build it and see. Maybe it 100% belongs in the deck. I don't know if it's main board, I don't know if it's sideboard yet, because I don't actually have an exact build, but I know what card you should be running in the main board, 100% facts. So that's what I'm getting onto right now. It'll be 4 Chapel, 3 Basil, 4 Bergamo. Yeah. The 5 drop, in my opinion, it's a 4-0. Because once again, the 5 drop, let me say, I'm pretty sure it's a 0-5k combo, which is insane. Because it's a powerhouse of the deck. It takes 2 energy, a 0-5k combo. That's 100% a 4-0. Point blank period. Don't care what anyone says. The Nimbus is yeah, you have to see Nimbus. Because the game got 1 with Mecha Frieza. I have a feeling they put Nimbus back, thinking it's at 4 and they're going to see it again. Not realize how valuable it is. When you have your Vegeta Unison on board, guys, I'm gonna hate saying this, because now I'm going to create problems for myself as a Dark Broly player, and I can already tell. Hold on to a Nimbus. Like, the mistake that happens is, the first attack is always going to be with a 6 drop, because you're going to Nimbus. So 100% is going to be with the 6 drop. Hold on to actual negates, like real negates, when I say multiple Nimbus, because you have to save your Vegeta Unison, right? If the Vegeta Unison is on board, I can't attack with my 6 drops. So, you Vegeta Unison my thing, I have to attack my leader now, because something I have on board, you Nimbus my attack into your Vegeta, you're 100% safe. You can say, okay, cool, he has 1 energy. Am I going to tap out to kill that guy? You damn right I'm going to tap out to I get to play next turn. And now I'm putting the pressure back on you, because now you have to have another Vegeta Unison on board. And if you do play one next turn, guess what you can't do to me? You can't use your 5-drop Bergamo on me, which actually is going to end up winning the game, because now you're going to start to get all this free advantage for nothing. You can't sell Xeno. That's another card too, which is like, it jumped from left to right. You can't do really big plays with just a Vegeta Unison against Dark Broly. What it will do is stall you until you wear me down, but it's hard for you to just win off the back of the Vegeta itself. 100% I'd play this. Tyrannical Blows is something I find myself not looking in the main board for. Tyrannical Blows is something I found really helps you in the sideboard, because like I said, when I build decks, I don't like deck cards in my main board. When I say with a pack, I really don't like to say, oh, you know what, this is just energy. I hate it with a burning passion. But Tyrannical blows out a lot of things. I can see Tyrannical Blows right now, like against Red Broly. It's a free win. It's like, bro, whatever you play, you just lose. I don't know if it's a main board thing. Like I said, I would have to build the entire deck first, and then see at the end what other slots I have open. 100%. I'm going down the list right now for the actual yellow cards. 100% Bloodless is in there. Slugs are another card. The slug package, right? The 1-drop into the 3-drop. I think it's a very, very valuable and underrated package, because in the main board, the only way for your opponent to get any kind of value without negging to kill, like to destroy slug, would be instantly to shoot it with the Final Flash. Because without Final Flash in the main board, if you were to main the 1-drop slug into the 3-drop slug package, it would be game, because they can't accrue any advantage at all, because they can't add cards from their deck to your hand except with leader abilities. So whatever they do now is just neg for them, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So this, I would find a way to slide it in the main board itself, because there's not one deck that I can think of that's like top tier besides Invoker that doesn't draw a card from their super combo. Maybe the mirror match, but the mirror match, I don't really count it, because you have Unite Assembles. That's pretty much your draw 2 cards. That's why you would play the Zamasu super combos. But all the cards like Dark Broly's, Red Broly, they all draw cards. Mecha Frieza, the mirror match, it draws cards. So Slug, I like, and I saw when Dehan played it, the games he won, it wasn't even close. It was straight blowouts. But the reason why it was blowouts is because he was putting these little damage. Their opponent was just nonchalantly, hey, I'm going to give you 5k. Hey, I'm going to give you 5k. Because you have to out-combo those little attacks. But the issue that we're seeing is those 5ks, those 1 cards, 2 cards that were pitching off, they weren't getting any advantage back. Because literally, it was just draw, attack with your leader, draw 1. Your super combos were dead. Any ability you had that gets you cards from your deck was just dead. So that's a package I would see myself finding a way to put in. Like, 100%. Planet Vegeta 100% goes in. Guys, okay, I did not see this from any deck whatsoever. And this right here would have shut down all Dark Broly players. And this is one of the reasons why I was really, really scared to put this out. But event's over. I'm probably going to regret this if I play Dark Broly in the webcam events. But Planet Vegeta is in your deck. In my opinion, it's either energy or you're using it. Because the reason why I'm going to say it's a 4 of, because you get certain key cards out that your opponent just can't stop. When I say those certain key cards, your Vegeta Unison, as crucial as it is, needs to be protected. You can literally Planet Vegeta for free, and you can grab your free Vegeta blocker. That free GT 3-drop Vegeta blocker came out in set 10, I believe. As long as your Unison has 2 or more markers, which is something you want to keep, just your Unison 2 or more markers, when your opponent plays a battle card, when your opponent plays a card, it's a counterplay, it comes in and rests that battle card. That's it. And it's a blocker on top of the Nimbus that you're going to use. Because the first attack they swing into the Unison, if it's a Dark Broly or if it's a Red Broly, anything that needs to attack with those battle cards that you're locking, you want to Nimbus. So the next best thing they can possibly do to you is summon either a 2-drop, a 1-drop, something like that could ship an easy damage off. But now, if you play the Planet Vegeta, you have at least 1 or 2 targets of your 3-drop blocker Vegetas. Once they play it, you have an instant answer to it, which is insane, because now that you have an instant answer to it, it rested, they're under a Nimbus, so they would have to have something else that's under their energy cost to attack with. So technically next turn you're safe, because next turn, if you Nimbus and just tap in energy, you still have that Vegeta blocker on board. And now things just start to build up from there. And that's why I say there shouldn't be a Mecha Frieza list without Planet Vegeta. Because even when, let's say, those blockers aren't good, and Mecha Frieza is one of the few decks I would highly recommend you sideboarding in and out Unisons, because there's certain Unisons in this game that just shuts decks out. Like the Vegeta Sphere. I'm going to emphasize the Vegeta Sphere. And the reason I'm going to do this is because for some reason, it was not a known card amongst players. I thought it was a very known card amongst players. I just didn't want to promote it because I didn't want to get shut out at the event. But I had to promote this, guys. You have to run the card. You can side. I understand. Once again, there are other yellow Unisons. You can sideboard those in. Mecha is one of the decks where I can see people sideboarding Unison cards. Another reason why I absolutely love Planet Vegeta, I play a package that will, my Mecha Frieza list, that will literally run into issues, I guess, if you see Dark Power Mass Saiyan, but you have answers to Dark Power Mass Saiyan. You see what I'm saying with Mecha Frieza, because you have giant balls, you have a stuff that'll answer it. But a well-timed Dark Power Mad Saiyan could stun my version of Mecha Frieza because I do play the 4-drop Son Goku, where is it? Son Goku, Father and Son. They're from Dropbox 3, along with the Bardock. Once I'm at 3 energy, I can just come in and rest one of your guys for free. The reason why I love those cards is I love cards. I can't express to you, once again, this is going back to my Vegeta days, how good free value is. Like, you just having free value in this game leads to wins, because this game is based off cards in hand and energy resources, right? So if you're able to effectively manage your cards in hand, keep it really healthy, while effectively utilizing your energy, you're just gonna win games naturally. Now, if you have things like Planet Vegeta, which require 0 energy, because you can use your leader to go ahead and grab your Bardock. I'll read you the Bardock verbatim. Let me find it first, wherever this bad boy is. Oh yeah, I just passed it too. Another reason why I want to Planet Vegeta is because you can just grab your Son Goku Absolute Annihilation and annihilate your opponent. But let me find this Bardock for you guys so I can read him verbatim. I absolutely love this mecha, and I don't know why players aren't playing it. Bardock, Father and Son, activate main. It's a 3-drop, so it's 2 drops. 100% searchable from Planet Vegeta. If your leader card is yellow, your opponent has 3 or more energy, and Bardock, Father and Son Goku is not in your battle area, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode. If a card is switched to rest mode, play this card from your hand. Guys, you get to tap something off rip for free, like a battle card, one of their battle cards for free, and trigger Bergamo and lock their energy. You get to, I'm going to repeat this again. It gets even one step further than this, because if you don't have it in hand, and then you use your Planet Vegeta first, I'm going to show how it gets even more twisted. Use your Planet Vegeta first. You search, let's say they have 2 battle cards. Maybe they're both blockers. You're playing something annoying, like, I don't know, a Bulma deck, right? That's just annoying. You're playing multiple blockers on board. This is the worst case scenario for you. I'm going to show you can answer this. You play your Vegeta, Planet Vegeta battle extra card. You search this guy. Now you gotta, this is how I say you have to use your mind. Once you search it, resolve your leader afterwards. Your leader's gonna tap anything, a battle card. Tap it. Once you tap it, whatever the other battle card is, you can tap it with your Bardock and bring the Bergamo in. But if you have, like, let's say you have 4 energy, I'm gonna show you how it gets crazy. Because from the leader ability, you can now trigger Bergamo number 1. You go in, cool, they have a response, you don't care. Next play you want to do is, after that, trigger this 2-drop Bardock. You rest something else, yeah, Bergamo number 2, because you just had 4 on energy that's open. These things just literally add up and add up and add up. And to top it off, going back to the Goku that I was talking about, is the 4-drop Goku. Let me pull him up. It comes in for play for free, and it's a blocker. Where is he? I wish I just knew these. Like, I know these cards, but I'm so bad with names, it's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny. Where is this bad boy? I can't even put Goku in, because I'm going to be here forever. It's the 4-drop I literally just mentioned to you guys. It comes in for free, and it's a blocker. So now you have a blocker on board. They're tapped out. And I think that's one of the biggest issues why you didn't really see Cell Xeno as frequent as it is. Because there's a lot of guys that come into play for free, and you can control how they come into play. But the thing is, a lot of players aren't playing it. They're playing alternate packages, which I can see why at the end of the day, Cell Xeno for them was not really much played or used. Because if you're playing alternate stuff like the Slug, that's what you're heavily relying on to win the game. I can see like the numbers aren't going to add up. The play I just showed you, you got 12 off rip. You just got 2 Bergamos and you have a freaking, the Bardock, the 2-drop Bardock. Just, that's it. And you did it for 4 energy. You see what I'm saying? It's pretty solid. So, let me catch up on some questions. Because I think I'm hitting the nail on the hammer for Mecha Frieza. Because I really do want to help make Mecha Frieza great again. I just can't play it. I would love to play the deck. That deck is way too expensive for me. Like, way too expensive. The only other deck is more expensive than that I would love to play would be the Red Broly BR. That's even more expensive than Mecha. So, let me see. What are your thoughts on running... What is that? Raw? What is... I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what that acronym is. It's your boy, JB. ROH maybe at 2. I don't know what that is. Roy, what is Roy? I'm like sleeping. The slug package is cool. Yeah, Nick, I love the slug package, particularly in a mirror match. You see what I'm saying? Because the slug package in a mirror match, they have to answer it with Final Flash. If they don't have a Final Flash, there's no answering whatsoever. Like, they literally have to Final Flash it to answer it. When playing his Dark Broly, how often do you take your life? Listen, every turn. Listen to me. Every turn. I can't fathom it. Other players say they don't take it. I literally can't. The only time I can maybe... Nah, I lied. I lied. Every turn. I personally take it every turn. If you watch me play it, I'm going to take life each and every turn. And I'm still going to run no negates. And I'm still going to take life each and every turn. I should tell you something. I run no negates and I still take life. Turns 1, turns 2, until I awaken. Then I stop. But each and every turn, I take life. Raw Bash Supremacy. When this card attacks, shields one of your opponents. Oh, that one? I thought it was cute at first, but my only issue with that is, right, U9 is the only way to bring it out. You don't have any other way. And my only U9 targets that I want to see from that is either going to be a 1-drop, because I want free attacks, or it's going to be the Basil, because, or not the Basil, the Chapel, because I don't want my opponent to just get free advantage from attacking for nothing. I want them to tap out. So the Raw, it has utilities. Maybe I could see as a one-of in the sideboard, but main board, in my opinion, I don't think it's a play in the main board. Because there's other cards that are better than that, so that's the only reason why I see it. The TB promo makes that deck is good. Yeah, that's another reason why I say do not try to mix and match Dark Broly list. Because if you try to mix and match my Dark Broly list or someone else's Dark Broly list, I can guarantee it to you. Nobody in this game runs 4 Brainwash My Saints. I do it for a reason. I do not run negates. I think negates and Dark Broly are useless. The only time I wish I'm like, maybe a negate would be cute here is the mirror match. Because if it's not the mirror match, you swing for what, 20, 25? Cool story, bro. Cracking space time, hint, hint. It's not just offensive, it's defensive too. And that one energy I would leave you starting negate, I just use it right there and there. It's no difference. Because if you negated my leader, either crack those knees on offense, guess what's gonna happen on defense? Just use it on defense. That's it. So, do you think the meta? Do you think will turn into a square? I don't think. Actually, that's a really good analogy. I would right now. I don't think it will turn to a square. I think it is a square. But the thing about the square is that fourth line. It's not defined. I will say it's set 12. A lot of set 12. Don't not get it twisted, guys. A lot of set 12 is like Marcel showed you. Turtles. It's super playable. It's easy ways to shut it out, but it's super playable. But it's not just Turtles, guys. Like, in my opinion, there's decks that set 12 decks are 10 times. I thought Turtles was good, because other set 12 decks that'll blow Turtles out the water. But the one thing I will tell you about Turtles is the only way Turtles has the edge against the other set 12 decks is that the set 12 decks flip their energy, flip their life up, right? Once you flip your life up against Turtles, it's going to bring you really, really major issues that you do not feel like playing with against Turtles. That's the one thing keeping Turtles above the majority of the set 12 decks. But the set 12 decks didn't really flip their energy, didn't flip their life like that. There's a lot of set 12. When I say set 12 decks, I'm looking at red specifically. Black is fire too. Blue, the thing about blue, I'm not gonna lie to you, they say blue is dead. I thought blue was dead too. Legends gonna hate me for this. Nah, I can't put this deck out there. But blue is not dead. I'm not talking about Invoker, guys. Like, blue is not dead. It's not really technically set 12, but there's cards that go from set 12, mainly promos, that'll make a certain blue deck insanely good. Because they don't really rely on counterplay like that and untaps. They rely on something completely different, which is just free resources. Which I keep telling you guys, free resources in this game is really, really key. Let's see, what else we got in here? Anyone going to the store championship at Gamers next month? I did not even know there's a store championship at Gamers next month. Huh? I'll look into that. I think I answered all you guys' questions. So yeah. So the beginning part of this video was mainly, I just want to touch on one of the key cards that you want to play Mecha Frieza, because those key cards will be the difference, and it'll make you and break you from actually having success with that deck and just playing the deck, playing free energy, but you're just not efficiently playing it. So, moving on to the next part of this video is going to be what I'm going to... Who said this? I'm going to give you credit. Who said this? He is Man Elite. Yeah, he is Man Elite. So, with the whole box reference, I like the box reference. So my triangle now became a box, right? Oh, that's a horrible box. Alright, that's it. I get that. Alright. It's a box. So, the top box is Dark Broly, bottom box is Red Broly, left box is Mecha, and then the right box is not mentioned. But I do think this meta is like that, because I'm telling you, the fact that Dark Prime Saiyan is easily answered in red, in green, and yellow. Yellow can do it too. It just takes a little bit more, but it's freely answered in red and green. Brings a lot of these decks that everyone, including myself, thought wasn't playable, but it is playable. I'll tell you right now, a lot of those guys are set 12. And when I say set 12, I'm looking at the King Piccolos. I'm looking at the launches. Launch, yeah, you guys haven't seen anything yet. King Piccolo, you guys haven't seen anything yet. So, I'm going to keep that one short. Anyone? I don't see any other questions. So, since I don't see any other questions, I didn't even realize we're at an hour already. I'll probably end the video here and just stay on for like another 2 minutes and answer your guys' questions. And in the next video itself, talk about those road decks. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of road decks that are out. And yeah, so I'll give you guys like 2 minutes to ask your questions. We'll always hear projects deck profiles. I really like the first deck profile, but the one thing I noticed is, if I were, I'll just say right now, I'm gonna see what I'm test with. I love the first deck profile, right, that I made. I feel like it's really efficient to combat the meta right now, as it is for that triangle. But one thing I came to understand with the Mecha, another thing too, is I still think that first projects deck profile is the way to go. Now that I put the knowledge out there for Mecha, like the Vegeta's Unisons, all that good stuff. But hindsight, if I were to run like this past event, I felt like if I were to run the projects chain, I would have slaughtered all the Mecha Frieza players there. I'm not sure how I would do against the set 12 decks itself, because Dark Prime Saiyan is easily answered. But the main top tier decks would have got ran through, because the chain, I'll tell you right now, the Vegeta's chain run throughs Dark Broly. It's really hard for them, because you're attacking with free advantage, right? You're attacking completely free advantage on the Awakening side. They're 100% going to go to 4, and they can't stall their Awakening. And a lot of players try to play a Heartfelt Plea, so they try to stall the Awakening. So, hindsight looking at it, but Jax would have been an excellent meta pick for myself to play versus Dark Broly. I just honestly didn't understand. People really didn't believe me when I said Heartfelt Plea is going to be a problem for them. But if I were to run for Jax and they were to sit there on their Awakening, there would have been really big issues for them. Because 100%, the way my deck would have been the two drop champ pack. So I'd have sat there, my turn to tap 2 energy, drop it, and then followed up with a 7 drop. So the 7 drop would have swung again, which is 30k double strike. They could not hold on to their Awakening. The same thing on turn 3, I'd have followed up with the actual core set rejects. I would have grabbed a card, most likely my super combo, from my warp, attack with that, and evolve again with another 7 drop. I feel like the chain would have been the way to go, but now that I'm preaching, I want to help the Mecha Frieza playing out there to understand how powerful the Vegeta Unison is. I don't think you can go the chain anymore, unfortunately. So if I were to play the Vegeta's deck moving forward, it would have to be the deck profile. I'm not saying that I would 100% play that. I think that is 100% the way to go. Because yeah, the Vegeta deck Unison, man, it's not easily answered to in a Vegeta's. Because the thing is, so I try to steer people away with Nimbus. Once they Nimbus you, they'll rest your battle card. So unless you want to feel like attacking with a Kai and just giving it combo power, or you feel like attacking with a Trunks giving it combo power against the Vegeta Unison, it's going to be neg for you to actually do and get over it. So thoughts on the future of webcam events. Yeah, I think webcams aren't going to go anywhere. There will be some major announcements pretty soon, and they will start off by being webcam events, and then later on, we'll reevaluate. Like I said, because of COVID, we're reevaluate everything, and then it'll become hopefully real life events. But when those events, when those announcements just start taking place, you will see it will start off on webcam level. So let's see, Dr. Yuru FTK. It's funny you said that, bro, because I'm gonna end on that Dr. Yuru comment. I should actually go take a dump, and that's exactly what I think of Dr. Yuru. No offense to you, my man, but hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Hope you guys Mecha Frieza players took a lot from this. Please, please, please tune in today's Wednesday. Tune in on Friday, and I'll go over the top rogue decks I'm gonna do. But I really gotta take a dump, and it's probably because you said that Dr. Yuru comment, bro. So peace.